Let me be real with you for a second. Not as some expert, but like someone sitting right next to you. You know that feeling, right? When you're around a girl and something just feels different. The conversations flow, the eye contact lingers, there's this quiet tension. But then your mind starts playing games. What if I'm overthinking it? What if she's just being nice? What if I embarrass myself? So you do what most guys do. You hesitate. You wait, you overanalyze, and slowly, that moment disappears. Now here's the part that might sting a little. You've probably missed more opportunities than you realize. Not because you're not attractive, not because you're not good enough, but because you were waiting for a sign that was too obvious to ignore. And that sign? It almost never comes. See, here's what no one really tells men. Women don't usually say, "Hey, I like you, make a move." Not because they're confused, but because attraction doesn't always work that way. Instead, they communicate interest in ways that are subtle, indirect, and easy to miss if you're not paying attention. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Psychological studies on attraction show that people tend to signal interest through behavior, proximity, and emotional investment, not just words. Which means she might already be showing you she's interested. Just not in the way you expect. Now think about your own experiences. Have you ever looked back at a situation and thought, wait, was she actually into me? That moment when everything suddenly makes sense, but it's too late. Yeah, that. This video is about stopping that from happening again. Because the truth is, attraction often gives you quiet hints before it ever gives you clear answers. And if you don't understand those hints, you'll keep missing opportunities while convincing yourself you're playing it safe. But let me flip the question on you. What if playing it safe is actually what's holding you back? What if the reason things never progress is not because she's not interested, but because you're waiting for certainty instead of recognizing intention? In this video, I'm going to break down subtle signs she wants you to make the first move, the kind of signs that don't scream, but whisper. And once you start noticing them, you'll realize something powerful. The problem was never that you didn't have chances, it's that you didn't see them. So pay attention, because this might completely change how you read attraction from today onward. Let me ask you something. Have you ever sat next to a girl, felt that tension, that quiet connection, and still told yourself, nah, she's probably just being nice? Now be honest. What if she wasn't just being nice? What if she was actually making it easier for you, and you just didn't see it? Here's the truth most guys don't want to hear. Women rarely make the first move directly, not because they can't, but because they want to feel chosen. So instead, they create opportunities. You think it's random when she stays close to you longer than necessary, laughs a little harder at your jokes, finds reasons to keep the conversation going, maintains eye contact just a second too long. But let's flip it. Why would someone who's not interested invest that much energy? Psychology calls this proximity and attention signaling. People naturally move closer, physically and emotionally, to those they're attracted to. So when she's doing this, she's not confused. You are. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. You're waiting for a clear sign, right? Something obvious, something safe, something that guarantees you won't get rejected. But attraction doesn't work like that. She's already lowering the risk for you. She replies quickly, she gives you openings, she doesn't shut down your presence, and you're still thinking, what if I'm wrong? Let me ask you this. What more do you actually want? A written invitation? Because from her perspective, she's already stepping out of her comfort zone, just in a subtle way. And here's the part most men miss. If she's making it easy and you still don't move, she starts losing interest. Not because she didn't like you, but because hesitation reads as lack of confidence. So the real question is not, is she interested? It's, why am I waiting for perfect certainty when she's already giving me the green light? Think about that. Let me ask you something again. Why is it that sometimes she'll say something that almost sounds like interest, but not quite? Like, she jokes, "So you don't take girls out?" Or she asks, "Are you always this quiet?" Or even playfully says, "I feel like you're shy." Now pause. Is she criticizing you, or is she giving you an opening? Because here's what most men misunderstand. Women don't always express interest directly. They often test for confidence first, not in a manipulative way, but in a natural psychological way. Think about it. Before someone invests emotionally, they want to know, can this person take initiative? Can he handle pressure? Will he step up or stay passive? So instead of saying, "I like you," she might challenge you just enough to see how you respond. Psychology refers to this as social probing, small behaviors used to measure interest, confidence, and compatibility. Now, here's where things go wrong. You hear those statements and think, maybe she's not interested. Maybe she's judging me. So what do? You pull back. You play safe. You give neutral responses. And just like that, you fail the moment without even realizing it. But what if you flipped it? What if, instead of retreating, you leaned in? When she teases you, tease her back. When she questions you, answer confidently. When she creates tension, don't kill it, build on it. Because here's the hidden truth. If she's testing you, she's already somewhat interested. People don't invest energy into testing someone they don't care about. So the next time she says something that feels like a challenge, don't overthink it. Ask yourself, is this actually an invitation disguised as a test? Because more often than not, it is. Now let's talk about something that confuses a lot of men. And honestly, this is where many of you lose your chance completely. Everything is going well. She's engaged, she's present, she's giving you attention, and then suddenly, she pulls back. Replies get slower. Energy drops slightly. She's not as available as before. And your first thought is, I knew it, she's losing interest. But what if that's not the full story? What if she's watching to see what you will do next? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes that small pullback isn't rejection. It's a test of initiative. Now, let's be clear. Not every situation is this. But in many cases, especially early on, it's a shift that says, okay, I've shown interest. Now will you lead? And this is where I'll be a bit direct with you. A lot of men fail here, not because they're not good enough, but because they panic. You either overchase and lose composure, or completely withdraw and do nothing. Both extremes send the wrong message. Here's the balance. If she pulls back slightly, you don't beg for attention, and you don't disappear. You step forward calmly. You initiate plans. You communicate clearly. You show intent without desperation. Because attraction often needs movement. And here's the part you need to hear. If you keep waiting for her to carry the interaction, you're putting her in a role she doesn't want. That's when interest fades. So instead of asking, why did she pull back? Ask, did I step up when the moment required it? Sometimes that answer will tell you everything. Let me ask you this. Have you ever tried to end a conversation and somehow she keeps bringing it back? You say, all right, I'll talk to you later. And she responds with, wait, before you go. Or the conversation clearly slows down, but she throws in another question, another topic, another excuse to keep you there. Now think about it carefully. If someone is not interested, why would they extend the interaction? This is where many men get it wrong again. You think, she's just being friendly. But friendliness doesn't require effort. Sustaining a conversation does. Psychologically, this is tied to emotional investment. When someone enjoys your presence, they subconsciously try to delay the end of that interaction. It's simple human behavior. We don't try to prolong things we don't enjoy. So when she asks follow-up questions, revisits old topics, messages you again after the conversation ends, or finds random reasons to keep talking, she's not confused. She's interested enough to keep you around. Now here's the part you need to hear. Keeping the conversation alive is her way of saying, I like being here with you. But what are you doing with that? Are you giving dry responses? Playing it too safe? Waiting for her to carry everything? Because if she's doing most of the work, eventually she'll stop. Not because she lost interest, but because she feels like she's the only one investing. So the next time you notice she's stretching the conversation, don't just respond. Lead it somewhere. Turn it into a plan. Shift from talking to action. Move from chatting to connecting. Because here's the truth. If she's giving you more time than necessary, she's giving you an opportunity. The question is, are you going to take it? Let's be honest for a second. Words can be confusing. People say things they don't always mean, or mean things they don't say. But body language? That's much harder to fake. So let me ask you, when you're around her, what do you actually notice? Does she face her body toward you even in a group? Adjust her appearance when you're nearby? Play with her hair or smile more around you? Lean in when you talk, even when she doesn't have to? Now pause. These are not random habits. Psychology calls this nonverbal attraction cues, subtle physical behaviors that reveal interest without words. Because when someone likes you, their body naturally tries to get closer, stay engaged, appear more attractive. And the interesting part? Most of this happens subconsciously. She's not sitting there thinking, let me lean in so he knows I like him. It just happens. Now, here's where many men miss it. You focus so much on what she says that you completely ignore what she shows. She might say, I'm just tired, but her body is still turned toward you. She might act casual, but her attention keeps coming back to you. So what matters more, her words or her consistent behavior? Here's the answer. Patterns reveal truth more than statements. And if her body keeps choosing you, that's not something you should ignore. But let me challenge you a bit. Are you even paying attention? Or are you so caught up in your own doubts that you're missing signals that are right in front of you? Because once you learn to read body language, you stop guessing and you start understanding. And when you understand, that's when you finally move with confidence. Let me say something, and I know some of you won't like it. If a woman is constantly giving you subtle signs and you still don't make a move, she will assume you're not interested or not confident enough. And no, she's not going to keep proving it to you. From a woman's perspective, attraction isn't just about how you feel, it's about what you do with it. If she creates space for you, opens the door, gives you moments, and you stay stuck in your head, eventually she stops trying. Not because she didn't like you, but because she expected you to meet her halfway. So here's the truth. Many men don't lose women because of competition. They lose them because of hesitation. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever realized too late that she was actually interested? Or maybe you're in that situation right now and unsure what to do. Drop your experience in the comments. I read them, and I'll personally reach out to some of you. Let's turn confusion into clarity, together. Because once you understand these signs, you won't just hope anymore. You'll know when it's time to act. Let me say something, and I know some of you won't like it. If a woman is constantly giving you subtle signs and you still don't make a move, she will assume you're not interested or not confident enough. And no, she's not going to keep proving it to you. From a woman's perspective, attraction isn't just about how you feel. It's about what you do with it. If she creates space for you, opens the door, gives you moments, and you stay stuck in your head, eventually she stops trying. Not because she didn't like you, but because she expected you to meet her halfway. So here's the truth. Many men don't lose women because of competition. They lose them because of hesitation. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever realized too late that she was actually interested? Or maybe you're in that situation right now and unsure what to do. Drop your experience in the comments. I read them, and I'll personally reach out to some of you. Let's turn confusion into clarity, together. Because once you understand these signs, you won't just hope anymore. You'll know when it's time to act.